Hey guys, Mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the next upcoming character event that we're going to be seeing within the global version of the game, which features Final Fantasy XIII's Fang. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this and take a look at what this character event offers us. So, like with any character event, this character is going to be unlockable just by playing through the event. She is FF13's powerful Lassie that's joining global DFFOO. She boasts high HP, attack, and max brave, alongside her affiliation with the yellow crystals. So if you guys want to build this character up, she does need yellow crystals. You can earn 1 copy of her 15 CP bladed lance, as well as 2 copies of her 35 CP frost shield earrings through this event. And Tidus and Yuna are going to be the synergy, which I was a little confused by this because she's from FF13, but she has 2 FF10 characters accompanying her as synergy. Not sure what the correlation or the relation is there, but it's interesting. And the boss that we're going to be going up against is a powerful pair of SAHAGIN shamans. So SAHAGINs are a very classic enemy from the Final Fantasy lore, and these ones are the shaman versions, and there's 2 of them that we're going to be fighting in this event. So we're going to take a look at Fang's abilities and what she offers us as a character. So her first ability is called Umbral Vice. So this is a 1-hit melee brave attack that deals more damage to debuffed targets. She also inflicts small max brave down, small defense down, and small speed down to the target for 3 turns. She also grants herself a unique buff, or it's like a stance called Saboteur F stance for 3 turns. However, when she does have this, she also removes the unique buff called Commando F stance, which comes from her other ability, which we'll be taking a look at. So very similar to Lightning, because Lightning does have this mechanic too with her abilities. And then Saboteur F stance increases Fang's max brave. Now taking a look at her second ability, it's called Whirlwind. So this is going to be a 2-hit melee brave plus HP attack that also initiates the chase sequence if this breaks the target or if it's used on a broken target. It also grants her the unique buff Commando F stance for 3 turns, and it does remove that unique buff called Saboteur F stance. Now Commando F stance increases Fang's max brave and attack. So that is pretty cool that she can use that ability to auto initiate the chase just as long as she's either breaking the target with it or she's already using it on a broken target. Now let's take a look at her crystal passives. So at 5, she gets Umbral Vice power. You're gonna want that obviously to increase the damage dealt by that ability. At 10, HP damage guard up, raises defense after taking HP damage. That's a pass, sorry. Defense is not that prioritized in the game. 15, buff speed up. I'd say this one's optional if you want her to have a little bit more speed. Her speed is just decent. She's not the fastest character, so she gets a speed increase while she's buffed. At 25, she gets Whirlwind power, which increases the damage dealt by Whirlwind. You're gonna want this too. At 30, break boost, raises max rate for 1 turn after breaking an enemy. If you're confident that your Fang could break an enemy, even if they have like a high amount of brave, then maybe you'd want this, but I would say pass. You could probably use that CP cost of 10 for something else. And then at level 35, she gets Umbral Vice charge. You're always going to want any type of charge passive because you're getting an additional usage out of that ability. At level 40, target attack up. She gets an attack increase whenever she's attacking an enemy targeting herself. I like this, except that it costs 15. So if anybody can tell me in the comment section below why they would equip this, then yeah, but I almost want to say that you don't want to equip this. At 45, she gets Whirlwind Charge. Again, you want that additional usage of the ability. At 50, it's Grand Pulse Warrior, so she gets an increase to her max brave and attack as long as an enemy is debuffed. Really good, especially since she does debuff herself for a CP cost of 20. At 54, she has Smash Attack, which she gets an attack increase for 1 turn when she initiates a chase sequence. And then at 55, she gets her Umbral Vice Extend, which further improves her first ability, giving it a higher brave damage potency, an increase in potency to the Saboteur F's unique buff, as well as dealing HP damage if brave is at least 80% or greater of max brave after the last hit of this ability. It also changes her brave attack to brave attack plus, which is a high turn rate brave attack that deals more damage to debuff targets. And the CP cost of this is at 15. At 58, she gets buff attack speed, which increases her attack and speed while buffed. And then at 60, improving her second ability Whirlwind, it increases her the Brave Attack now is now AoE Brave damage for this ability, but keep in mind that the Chase is only initiated to the single target, even though it's AoE. Brave damage potency is increased when you're using this on a single target. It increases the Commando F's potency for that unique buff. It also changes the Brave Attack to Brave Attack Plus, which is going to be an AoE Brave damage attack, which deals more damage to a single target. So overall, I like it. I think the one thing that I really like about her is that she's another chaser. So right now, Lael is kind of stealing the spotlight as the chaser, since now we have the chase meta, but I feel like Fang could do some pretty nice shenanigans with the chase. Alright, so we're going to take a look at her artifact passives now and what you should be doing as far as investing in her artifact passive. So the one she has available to her is Bravery HP damage. I'm just gonna say it outright, you don't really want this because she increases her Brave if she takes HP damage. Well, why would you want her to take HP damage in the first place? Grand Pulse Warrior boost, definitely want this. It increases the effects of that level 50 passive. And then Mighty Emerald Vice and Mighty Whirlwind is gonna be decent if you want to improve the damage output of those two abilities. Now the top priority passives are Attack plus 108, Max Brave plus 330, and then Grand Pulse Warrior boost 2-star. That's gonna be the top priority passive as well as the coverage of her artifact passives for Fang. Now let's take a look at the banner that we're going to be getting. So this banner is going to be featuring 3 new weapons in the form of 15 CP Bladed Lance for Fang. It gets increase in Brave damage potency for Umbral Vice. It also raises the potency of the debuffs it inflicts for the Max Brave down, defense down, and speed down, as well as extending the duration, and it also extends the duration of that unique buff Saboteur F. And then 35 CP Glaive for Fang will be the other featured new weapon. It increases the Brave damage potency for Whirlwind, and it also further increases it when you're using it on a target that is broken. It also gives her a small physical attack up for 10 turns, which is a long duration, and increases Commando F's potency and extends its duration. So there is an EX weapon featured on this in the form of Tidus's EX weapon. Square Enix did give this EX weapon to us very early compared to when it was originally released, which was supposed to be on this event. Now, a lot of people have been speculating, oh, because we got Tidus's EX weapon early, does that mean we're going to get Yuna's? I'm going to say it straight out, I don't think they're going to give us Yuna's EX weapon, only because JP hasn't had it for that long in their timeline, and for us to get it in global, it's a little overpowered. And I'll be showcasing it when we actually look at the gameplay showcase for this event, but yeah, that's the reason why I don't feel like they're going to release that weapon. But I feel like they are going to bring back the Tidus EX weapon, which is the Force Saber, equipping the EX ability Energy Rain. It is a 6-hit AoE range Brave plus HP attack. The Brave attacks are distributed, however the HP damage dealt is 100% to multiple targets. It also gives Tidus an attack up and speed up for 5 turns. So for those of you Tidus fans, this could be a potential another opportunity to get this EX weapon if you missed out on it when they first released it, since they did give it to us early in global. Now, should you pull on this banner? Here's my thoughts. If you're pulling on this banner, I would do it if I had terrible luck on getting Lael's gear, because Lael right now with his awakening is like initiating the start of the chase meta, which JP had for at least a good month and a half to 2 months, where it was all about using the chase, launching the enemies, getting that high score, getting that low turn requirement. So this is the only reason I would pull on the banner. Fang as herself is actually a pretty good character, but if you already have Lael, I feel like it's kind of redundant to pull on this banner, unless of course Fang is one of your favorites or she is your waifu. Now, if they do bring back the Tidus EX weapon and Tidus is one of your favorites too, or if you happen to have missed out on the initial release for global for this EX weapon, then yeah, by all means go ahead and pull. But I want to say maybe use tickets and a multi or 2, but that's about it, because later on you're going to see they're going to start bringing in more and more characters that really power creep some of these other characters that we get. But that's just my opinion. Again, if one of these characters are your favorites, by all means go ahead and pull for these characters. So we're going to take a look at the boss, which is a SAHAGIN Shaman. So these bosses resist wind and have a chase value of 40. And for those of you who are wondering what chase value is, again, just a reminder, the link to that video that I made last year regarding the chase mechanic is in the video description as well as the pinned comment, so be sure to check that out. The 2 SAHAGIN Shamans are going to be present, so it's not 1 boss, it's 2 for the very harder stage. And then 1 opens up at the start of their turn with an AoE melee brave attack called SAHAGIN Jump, while the other one opens up with a buff that applies it to both of them. It's called Supplication for Grace. It increases their initial brave attack, defense, and speed, as well as their enfeeblement. So that means they have a higher chance to debuff their targets. So if you decide to bring Selfie to this, where she increases the chance of evading like debuffs being inflicted on your party, well, these guys kind of somewhat deal with that because they increase their chances of inflicting their debuffs. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, some final thoughts and tips before going into this. If you decide to invest in Fang, just have those yellow crystals ready. However, it might be difficult if some of you have already invested on Lael, because he's another chaser with yellow crystals. So it's up to you which character you want to use between Lael or Fang as far as the chase meta. Now, Tidus and Yuna, since they are synergy, help because of the increased stats. Yuna can dispel the debuffs that the party receives from the SAHAGIN shamans, and then Tidus can actually inflict debuffs, which could help because after the SAHAGIN shamans buff themselves, he can inflict the debuff with his slash combo if you have the 35 CP. And with that, because he inflicts a lot of debuffs, he has the chance of pushing off some of the buffs that the SAHAGIN shamans inflict. So he can be pretty useful for this fight. And then for other different team synergies, or different team setups, I mean, you can go with a launch team, like with Lael, or I don't know, Setzer, because the launch meta is already live and global. Or you can also use a dispeller such as Ferris. So if you have Ferris built up, her cannon fire can come really in handy because not only can she dispel, provided that you have the 35 CP passive for her, but she can also debuff at the same time, which makes her pretty amazing for this fight. So that's going to be it for the discussion as far as the overview for this character event. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to my JP account, where I'm going to showcase some gameplay regarding the Fang event that's going to be going live in global. Let's go ahead and move on to that. Alrighty guys, so here we are following the discussion for the upcoming Fang character event that's going to be going live soon to global. I'm going to give you guys a visual showcase of kind of what's to expect for the event with my JP account, and I am going to be tackling the Fang lost chapters because this is how I can show it to you guys. One thing to point out is that Fang and Tidus both did get a rework. They both can also be leveled to level 70, but I chose to keep them at 60 for this video. Yuna herself got level 70, however, she didn't get a rework alongside that, but she did get an EX weapon, which, like I said, we're probably not going to see this EX weapon, but just to give you guys a little bit of a treat, I will be showing off the EX weapon. Now, I'm going to be tackling the level 80 difficulty for this gameplay showcase. Reason being why I'm not doing the higher difficulties is I don't think they're going to be at that difficult when we get them on global, and plus JP already has a difficulty called Chaos, which I haven't even beat yet, and showcasing that would be a nightmare because it's pretty hard. So let's go ahead and tackle this. We're gonna go up against the SAHAGIN shaman bosses. We're starting off with this Marlboro variant, super annoying because of their status analyst, but we got Yuna. Alright, so let's go ahead and use Fang. So the damage output that you're seeing right now that she's dealing, she's not going to be dealing that much damage when we get her, but she's still going to be fairly good because she is a launcher type character, and I do like how the only condition that you need for her second ability to launch is that they either have to break the target or if the target's already broken, which I think that's really, really cool that that's the conditions. So you don't have to worry about any kind of math or anything like that, because remember, the chase value does have a hidden value. And here they are, the SAHAGIN shamans. So remember, the way these bosses work together is that one of them are going to be buffing themselves on the first turn, and the other one is going to actually use an AoE melee brave attack. So you wanna be ready for that, and this is why it's very important also to have a deep buffer, because they do give a lot of buffs to themselves. So Tidus actually helps along with this, as well as Fang. All right, so let's go ahead and use Esuna. All right, we're gonna go ahead and launch A. All right, so that one's almost dead. I do want to prolong it a little bit, so let's actually just get a slash combo in. I just want to show you guys at least what they can do. And also, I do want to show off Yuna's EX weapon like I said I would, so... All right, let's just hold back a little bit here. All right, so we have the EX ready. I'm gonna wait because I do want them to use their opening attacks. All right, there. So one is gonna buff both, And the other is going to use an AoE melee brave attack, pretty much a Dragoon's jump. All right, so now let's go ahead and check out Yuna's EX. So this EX is super cool because she summons Valifor, which is her signature summon for Final Fantasy X. So it's really cool that she does eventually get this. Again, I'm pretty sure they're not going to give that to us early. It's a pretty powerful EX weapon to get early on in Global where we're at. So we're probably going to see Tidus's again, but you never know. At this point, anything can happen with Global, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to give us that EX weapon just yet. Okay, and I did forget to mention that when one of them dies, essentially they go to like a berserk mode, so they get stronger, they buff themselves. All right, so here's Tidus's EX. All right, well that is gonna go ahead and conclude the gameplay showcase for the Fang character event that's going to be coming out. Again, remember, it's just a showcase, not a strategy on how to beat it, but just to kind of give you guys a visual treat there. Anyways, guys, hopefully this video is helpful for the upcoming Fang event coming out to Global. Once again, this is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for my next video, and mahal, everyone.